Bonsoir. Okay. Today's collective feels very, I'm getting brain frogs, you could like frogs. Very foggy, very heavy. And I keep hearing throat chakra too. Like there's a lot on your mind that you want to be said to you. So there's a lot on your mind about some things that you think should be spoken to you. So it could be an apology, could just be things that you've always been unsure about, like unanswered questions, and you've got, I just heard insecurities about it. Feeling a bit lost. Before I get initials, I want to get this deck to just understand this energy a bit better. And I think you'll know if this is even just this now, if this is kind of like how you're feeling, I think it'll resonate with you if this is what's going on for you right now. What is this collective energy, please? First card out, Twin Flames. Reflection of soul, mirrored emotions, your other half, and shared feelings. Which would then make sense, yeah, frozen. Not speaking, stonewall, not taking action. The energy of this, so this is a twin flame collective. Not speaking, stonewall, not taking action, obviously reflects you're in no communication with the person you believe to be your, well, this is the universal message for the collective, so this is a twin flame connection. But this is also to confirm how you're feeling, what the energy is here. This heaviness is coming from the fact that someone that is connected to you, that is your person, is not taking action, and it's making you feel heavy, feeling stuck, like there's so many unanswered questions that they have not, given you clarity on. You feel stonewalled by them. And like I said, yeah, you're obviously in no contact, you're not speaking. But it could also be, especially because twin flames mirror emotions a lot, when you're not speaking, you don't know that you're picking up their energy or you're mirroring. That was a sign that maybe you're... That's crazy. So I stopped the video because I was getting a call. And as I was saying, that's a sign that you're about to have some communication. You're going from not speaking to getting a call. And then I just realized that call is literally on the bottom. This is that's a synchronicity. So it's like you can have I saw something the other day that was like, if it happens once, it's an occurrence. If it happens twice, it's a coincidence. If it happens 3 times, it's a pattern. So it's like when things start happening and it's like too hard to ignore, like getting someone not speaking, then getting a call, then having the call card on the bottom, like all the things line up, and it's like, it's shocking. Like even someone who reads cards every day, I still get shocked by it, which I love because it makes it more fun. But you are about to hear from someone. I think it is whoever is your twin flame, and I don't think you have spoken to this person in quite some time, so the heaviness you're feeling right now is the amount of time it's been since you spoke, but then also picking up this person's energy, especially if they've got quite a bit to say and it's weighing heavily on them, and then you're feeling this heaviness. toxic ego. Arrogance, having too much pride, being stubborn, holding back, unhealthy, poison, delusions, nasty behaviors. No wonder you feel heavy. I think a lot of the unanswered questions is perhaps it's that, not that you question whether this is a twin flame, but I actually feel like this collective, you're questioning whether this person even wants to change and be the version that could come back together with you. You would have memories of them being nasty. You'd have memories of them having too much pride to change and putting the blame on you for wanting them to change, as if you wanting them to be different was like something against them. I think this person struggles with being stubborn in their life as well, and holding back, struggles to be vulnerable. I actually can feel myself getting choked up. So this collective, you could very well have been crying, because it feels as though it's like the hope is there, but the heaviness feels like, I don't know, it's just this feeling I get that this collective feels like this person connected to them is their twin flame, but that this person doesn't want to get better, doesn't want to change, or there is an element of them knowing they can be better and knowing that changes need to be made, but they're too stubborn because they're too stuck in their toxic, unhealthy behaviors, and they feel grubby about it, but they're also not willing to put in the work to change that. So it's like every time they give in to the temptation of these toxic behaviors, they don't feel good about it, they feel grubby, but then saying that, they almost feel like the pull, the temptation to it feeds their ego, so they'd rather feed their ego. And because of these two cards, their ego, their arrogance, their pride, mixed with their poisonous behaviors and the poisonous behaviors of maybe those they surround themselves with, that unhealthy pattern keeps them frozen. And because they're a reflection of your soul, because you mirror emotions, because they're your other half, you share those feelings. And when you're in no contact with this person and you're feeling this heaviness and this getting choked up or whatever it may be, you're not knowing that you're picking up their energy because you're not seeing it in front of you. You're not going, oh, I'm feeling anxious, because you're clearly anxious. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is with twin flames, it doesn't matter how far apart you are, whether there's distance, doesn't have to just be no contact. If there's actual physical distance, doesn't matter how far away they are, it's energetically transferring. Yeah, Ghost. To confirm twin flames, you felt or you feel left behind by this person, and not like they're leaving you behind because they're evolving and becoming a better person and you're not, but because they chose the toxic, they chose the ego. I just heard it's you, as in this collective, this is you. You're the one that's got too much pride. You're the one that's holding back. Maybe as well, especially with this no contact and the fact that you disappeared from this connection, you did it in a very cold, detached way. And perhaps you were even quite nasty towards the end. And if you're aware of the damage you've caused here, but you care more about your ego than fixing or taking accountability for the bad behavior here, this is something that's why you're feeling heavy, because there's things that you need to address. And it's one thing to become aware of your bad habits, but then what are you doing to change it? What are you doing to better yourself? Are you going to therapy? Are you doing things to help you change those behaviors so that you can change the outcome? Because right now, this feels very narcissistic. And it's not because I'm saying you are a narcissist, but there's traits here that speak to that make it feel like the validation you get from others seems to be prioritized, even though it makes you feel grubby, being prioritized over giving someone, validating the pain that you've caused someone, because you're prioritizing your need for validation over the pain you've caused here. So no wonder this feels very heavy. Side piece. A mistress flirting with others, the other woman, a secret hookup. And maybe that's what's going on for you. You've got a secret hookup right now, friends with benefits, or you're just dating multiple people and you're sticking it wherever. And that's what's keeping you from taking action too, because this is feeding your ego right now. This is cheap thrills, easy validation, easy satisfaction. And that is unhealthy. It's poisonous. It's poisoning you. And it's feeding the ego. Yeah, single on the bottom. So whoever this side piece is, or multiple people you're with, situationships, whatever, they're not serious relationships. They're just to validate you, to make you feel better, to get that, to feed that sexual desire without any real depth or meaning. Memories. This is actually good. So I think you're feeling heavy because you're looking back on good times with your twin flame. You're looking back on also your behavior, where your ego got in the way of this connection, causing you to then pushing you into all this behavior. I think you're dwelling. The heaviness is because you can't help but dwell on your past behavior. You're having flashbacks of memories where your pride got in the way, where you were nasty to this person, and almost kind of put the blame on them for the bad repeated cycles you two had, not taking accountability for the part you played in repeating the cycles, the negativity, the toxic behavior. I think at the time you were so in your pride and ego that you didn't even realize that you were the culprit. And maybe for a long time, that ego is what kept you blaming your twin flame and then going into these behaviors. But even though they're not actually feeding your soul and aren't helping you grow and evolve as a person, you're heavily thinking about this right now. It's a mixture of how happy you were with this person and how good things were, mixed with also remembering how you destroyed it. So, I mean, that's good though, because it means that you're reflecting on what, on the damage you caused here. But then that being said, like I said before, you can become aware of it, but what are you doing to change it? Because is it easier just with this, did this other behavior become more of a, too much damage has been done, I'm just going to give in to the evil in me and just be I'm just going to give up. I'm not even going to try to change. Like that, I'm getting that vibe instead of wanting to step up and be better. Toxic. Jealousy. So you were jealous of this person. Maybe as well, if you're someone that always cared what people thought about you and you always needed that validation, and then if your twin flame got attention, you would use that to, you'd throw it in their face, or you would make them feel bad about it, or, and this is even rumors, pettiness, being envious, talking behind back. I feel like you talked behind this person's back about them as well, to do with the attention that they would get, because it made you feel less than, especially if you're used to being the one that was the center of attention, and then when this person came along, their light, I don't want to say shone brighter than yours, but they didn't even try to get attention and they got it. Whereas you're someone that almost does things to get attention and they didn't have to do that. And then you've got soulmates on the bottom. So you've got twin flames and soulmates. Could be a twin soul connection. The one, deep love, spiritual connection, life partner. But to me at the moment, the overall feeling I'm getting from this is that you know who this person is to you. You know that they're your twin, your soulmate. But because you're so heavily dwelling on the damage caused here, I feel like this collective's on the fence about whether they're just going to succumb to their toxic behavior and just give up on life, or go, no, I'm going to pick myself up, I'm going to go to therapy, I'm going to grin and bear it and stop feeding my pride here. Because the funny thing is when you step up and do the work and you start to notice positive changes in you, you can then have pride that's healthy. Like, I'm proud of myself. I did the hard work. I stepped up, and even though it was yucky and uncomfortable at first, now things are starting to get better. I'm proud of myself for doing the work. So it's kind of like this thing of putting in the hard work now and getting that pride in the end, being proud of yourself for doing that, or just succumbing and continuing this toxic cycle with your ego, validation, side pieces, like, because ultimately, if your person is a good person and they get attention and you're jealous and you want to basically take them down a notch, that's not healthy. You should be proud of your partner in life, unless what they're doing is actively poisoning the connection. In this case, I don't think that was the case. I think you were just envious of the attention they would get and you would try to tear them down, or make them smaller so that you could control them better, and that's not healthy. Part of me doesn't even want to keep going because I don't like that energy. Denying this person for a long time. I think as well part of the fear is knowing that you haven't really given this person answers for a long time, and knowing that it takes courage to step up and admit to the wrongs you've done and validate the pain that you've caused this person. Because I don't think you've done that. You didn't want to face the reality of it, so you dismissed them, you refused to deal with it, and you did not, this person has been left having to pick up the pieces alone. All right, so let's get initials for, I'm kind of hoping that because it's starting out that way that the reading's going to get better. I'm hoping. Cover me up, Morgan Whalen. All right, these will be initials, maybe songs. Straw, oh, they're so couple of songs in here. Strawberry by Rome. Get You to the Moon, Kinna. The letter K. F. P. And this can be your initials, your twin flames initials, and initials of people that are connected to this. So maybe even the initials of a side piece you have, or a friend or family member that interfered here somehow. All right, a couple more. So KPF. E. Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake. We had that yesterday as well. Last one. And C, with V on the bottom. All right, so initials, we've got KPFEC, and the songs that came out were Strawberry by Rom, Get You the Moon by Kinna, and Hold On, We're Going Home by Drake. All right. I just heard as well, if it's not you that's feeling this way about like having done wrong by someone, and you're the person watching is the one that maybe you feel like this person is living out of their ego right now. Maybe you're feeling like they're living a poisonous, toxic lifestyle where they're sleeping around, doing all this bad stuff to feed their ego instead of coming to you and taking accountability for what they've done. Like they're using those things to numb themselves so they can live without thinking about what they've done. Oh. Sexual by Naked featuring Dio. Hang on, let me get that. Send Me Flowers. I think you should send this person flowers, but also you're maybe thinking this person should send me flowers. Flowers by Miley Cyrus right under that. That's so funny. 2016 could be... I just heard as well, maybe 2016 was quite a sexual year for you. Like you kind of got around, so to speak. And then that Miley Cyrus song came out in 2023, so maybe you met this person then, or Work Song by Hosier. Very deeply, that's a soulmate song. Very deep emotions. Summer Rain. I haven't even written who that's by. I was just trying, oh, the song cat popped into my head immediately. Summer Rain, who's that by? And then Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Okay. I'm going to start with tarot today. Six of Wands, that's victory. But it can also be pride. Fame, again, getting validation from others. Public recognition, praise. This is good news. This is a Leo card, so you could be a Leo. Knight of Wands, that's that player energy. That's that sexual energy. The side piece. This to me this energy feels like someone who, since you've left this twin flame, I don't think you've had like a serious relationship again. I think you've had very fleeting encounters, let's say. Very just physical and flirty. Tower. Six of Swords. That's okay. That's communication and travel, but making progress, moving on to calmer waters, but that's through having tough conversations. Six of Swords also level of secrecy. There's a lot of things that have not been spoken about here, and that's what part of these tough conversations, because it will always haunt you if you do not deal with it. Doesn't matter where you go, you can't run away from yourself. You will be wherever you run to and whatever you run to. You cannot outrun it. It will come with you everywhere. So this is something that this secrecy needs to be dealt with so that you can truly move on. And that can only be done through tough conversations. Seven of Wands, protecting yourself. Boundaries, defensive, territorial, hypersexual, and angry. And why are you so angry? Because you repress your feelings, because you cannot be vulnerable. So you do this player energy. You need validation. You feed your pride by getting that flirty sexual attention. And then when things don't go your way, you become defensive and angry, and then you become nasty and toxic. And instead of looking within and seeing why you keep reacting that way to people, you blame everyone else around you. And that's Leo to confirm Leo as well. 7 and 6 of Wands, both Leo cards, so that's an important sign. This behavior is yucky energy. And this is the thing, if you're carrying a lot of deep-seated shame about it and not feeling worthy, then you keep repeating the pattern even though it makes you feel grubby because it's a quick fix. And then you're thinking because you're not changing that this is just your lot in life and you're not doing the things to change it. Because when you think about what needs to change, it feels like too much work, so you give up before you even try. You feel like you have to defend yourself all the time against everyone, and it's like poor me mentality. Knight of Wands. A lot of fire here. You're definitely a Leo. You got the Strength card, and that's Leo as well. That cannot be ignored. That is 3 Leo cards. You're definitely a Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Stellium, whatever, heavily a Leo. Under this Knight of Wands, though, to get strength, that's actually very positive, because the Knight of Wands can also be a go-getter and be like fired up to take action in life. So where I was saying all that lustful, flirty behavior that you were using to validate yourself, I think you're actually finding the strength now to find that go-getter energy within you, and instead of just saying this is my lot in life, you want to take action towards change. This Leo card is all about having a brave heart, being brave and taking that action to better yourself. Confidence, power, end game. If your end game is to be back with your twin flame and to be a better person for them and for yourself, and to stop blaming everyone else around you for your bad behavior, they can be your end game here. I think you're finding your strength now. You're finding that strong will within. I was hoping that's where this was going, because I felt as though surely it's not going to start out that heavy and negative for it to be, for the whole reading to be that way. I think all that energy that you've been sitting in for a long time and not validating this twin flames hurt feelings and taking accountability, you've been doing this toxic stuff, but now you're finding the strength within and the courage to go, I actually don't want this to be my lot in life anymore. I don't want to be the victim anymore. I want to take responsibility and make changes in my life. You're getting that strength now, because you want things to be calmer. You want to have progress in your life and to move on with your life. Maybe travel is a part of that, but I think you're also finding the strength to have these tough conversations that you need to happen. Number 19 could mean something. Wow, King of Cups. After everything else that's come out, strength with the King of Cups, very positive. Going from being this egotistical maniac, basically, that's just sticking at every which place and acting like an arrogant ass, essentially, to being emotionally intelligent, trusting your intuition, leading with passion, and not this negative passion, but the passion that actually will be your driving force to make the changes that are required of you, to go from this fiery person to learning how to be vulnerable, learning how to, that your sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's one of your strengths, but you've covered it with all of this ego and toxic, unhealthy patterns. But this is a reliable leader, a devoted and faithful partner. Gosh, like a king of cups, very emotionally mature. Really leaning into the depth of your emotions for this person, not just trying to cover it up with fleeting connections. With the Queen of Swords on the bottom, so two things for this. One, you're expecting this reception. You're expecting a Queen of Wands, especially because you know tough conversations need to be had here. So you're expecting them to be cold and on guard with you. But again, if you're leaning into your strength and you're leaning into your brave heart, you know those tough conversations need to be had. Accountability needs to be taken to make real change and to progress your life forward, and being determined towards building the trust and the time that it will take to build that trust. And that's why I was feeling this on the fence energy. It's like knowing you want to change and then thinking it's too hard and just giving up, or maybe taking a few steps forward and then 10 steps back, like instead of staying on the course. Only you can do that, stick it out. But I think that you're expecting your twin to have a low tolerance towards any bullshit. So if you're not coming in with anything but honesty and accountability, you're going to get a very cutthroat Ice Queen. But this is the thing, if you are aware of this, you know that you're going to need to show up consistently and constantly honest and constantly taking accountability to work through that ice and wanting to do it and having the brave heart to do it. They might be a Libra. I think you have the strength. You actually have that deep within you. You have that character. But the character you've been acting is not a good one. Five of Pentacles. The regret over this. The loss. Being conflicted over whether to make the changes or not. To put the effort in towards yourself and this person. But being alone and missing someone, missing your twin flame, being in no communication. Maybe they have you blocked or you've got them blocked, but you feel like you're an outsider to their life now and you don't like that feeling. But then even if you would take a couple of steps forward to better yourself, if you hit a roadblock in some way, you just give up and go back to this bad behavior. I think something's changed recently where you have more persistence now, you're more determined. You don't want to be an outsider anymore with this person. You want to fix things and you know that it's a hard road ahead, but it's a hard road worth traveling. Yeah, Five of Wands, 5-5. Leo again. There is no shadow of a doubt that you are a Leo. Because there is 1, 2, 3, 4 cards about Leo out of 8. Half the deck, half the spread is Leo. You cannot deny that. But under the regret, the loss, the missing someone, this is about challenges and obstacles. All the fights that you get into in your life, all the pettiness, the arguments, the drama, the resistance to change and the jealousy. These are the challenges and the obstacles that you need to work on. All of those attributes that are not positive, they're not good qualities to have. You have regret over it. You know that's what's caused you loss in your life. You know that's why you miss this person, because they were a good thing in your life. But you created fights, you were jealous, you were resistant to change. You'd blame them for wanting you to change. And you'd cause arguments, you'd cause drama, or you'd blame them for causing drama. All of that stuff was keeping you still. Even though you had regret and loss over it, it kept you from making changes because of your pride. 8 of Cups, walking away from what no longer serves you. desire for more, letting go of that yuckiness. That doesn't have to define you. That doesn't have to be the nail in the coffin. That's it for the rest of your life. That's the life you have to live now. There's no changing it. Of course you can change it. You can walk away. You just have to really use your strength to do it. Because every time someone tries to tempt you back into that life, you have to go within and use that strength to keep making steps forward. And even when you hit an obstacle, or you are having a shitty day or something like that, to go, no, I'm going to keep moving forward. No, I'm not going to go back to my old ways. This is another card of traveling as well. I think your desire for more is actually outweighing that pull towards the negative qualities that you've been living out of for a while now. And that's good, because this is the overall energy. So I think your overall, I think the temptations are still there, but your desire for more, for a better life, and to be with this person is outweighing the temptation. And even on the days that feel a bit harder to resist the temptation, to still persist. And go to therapy. I say that on here all the time. Go to therapy. I think a lot of pride has stopped you from doing things like that. Get help to change these things. That is part of being that King of Cups, knowing when, sorry, that was Five of Wands. Knowing when that vulnerability, your sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's not weak to get help. Because then on those days where the temptation is really pulling at you and you're feeling weak, you've got that help, and not from the people that you're around all the time that will just be part of the temptation, because that's all you've ever done, that's all you've ever known. And there would have been a part of you that was that King of Cups when you were with your twin flame. You would have that side of you would have come out. That's the side of you that they fell in love with. But that dark side of you, for some reason at that time, is what won out and created the loss here. All right, I want to get into how you're viewing this person and the connection, your twin flame. No wonder this feels so heavy. It's like I keep thinking in my head, I don't want to do this anymore. That's you. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore, as in it's too hard, I want to give up, with I don't want to do this anymore, as in I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to do better. I desire more for myself. Psychic abilities. Maybe your psychic abilities have started going off. Rise up. Thank you. God, that's such a relief to see that. You're ready to rise up. You're going through a death and rebirth right now. Oh, good. And that also is strength. There is a fire under your bum right now. And this year is the year of the horse. This is about moving forward. The year of the snake was last year, about shedding that old skin, that old life. And now the horse, we're running forward. We are not going backwards, we're going forward. It is time. You are coming into your strength, and you are using that strength to rise up in your life. You are a phoenix rising from the ashes right now, and it's kind of like burning bridges, but it's not bridges you want to ever cross again. So it's like these people, these behaviors, these situations that you have been using to feed and validate your ego, burn, 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 burn. Touch grass. Gaia, connecting with nature, barefoot. Get outside more. I wish I'd said that earlier, because I literally it was like it was being, yeah, go outside. I was hearing it, go outside. And I was like, should I say that? Go outside. go on an adventure. Maybe you need to go on a trip alone, and maybe even, because this always makes me think of Uluru, so maybe even go on a trip to Northern Territory, isn't it? Go to the Northern Territory, go on a trip. That will really help you connect with your spiritual side, and you will also feel I actually feel like going on some kind of trip like that is just going to you're going to become a different person because of it. The one. Divine masculine. This is who you can be. Burn that shit away, because you will become divine. If you connect with nature again, go on I keep hearing, go outside, go on a trip. You need to go on an adventure and burn all of that old life away, because this is what you're stepping into. And a divine masculine is a healthy balance of, yes, you protect and provide, you need to make your partner feel safe, but you can be vulnerable. You know that with your partner, you can feel safe being emotionally vulnerable with them, and they will protect your heart just how you were meant to protect their heart. You can ask for help. I cannot tell you how relieved I feel with that top row, because I honestly felt so upset in the beginning. Like I felt like I was going to cry, because I felt like, why the hell am I doing this reading if it's so negative? This is you rising up to be this divine masculine, burning that old shit away. And now I'm teary, but it's like happy tears. Tears of sorrow to tears of joy. What's that card? Lone wolf. You need to go on this alone, because the people that have been keeping you in this pattern for so long, but this again, do not blame others for your own behavior, because you've been doing that for a long time. But you need to go on this journey alone. You cannot take these people with you. This is about isolating and going into solitude. Again, this is the rebirth that you have to go through. You are burning through all those layers that have been keeping you stuck for so long. And maybe as well, confirmation, go on a trip alone. Go explore somewhere else alone, even if it's not the Northern Territory, but or go on a road trip, or do something that is going to feed your soul and help you with this journey of becoming divine masculine. Magic. When you go connect with nature and you take this trip, you're going to tap into your supernatural abilities. That sixth sense, that inner kind of tug that is making you desire more, that's pulling you towards this death and rebirth, that's magic. That magic is pulling you towards this, doing this for yourself. This is important. You doing this and connecting with nature, and I just heard like some kind of, I keep hearing retreat, but that's not what I mean. It's some kind of like, the only thing that's coming to mind to describe it is like when people book a Kentucky holiday and you meet a bunch of new people, and they're not all going to be like-minded, but it's kind of like when I was saying, go on a trip to Uluru, go to the Northern Territory and see how it awakens the magic within you, your spirituality. It's like you're going to have this magic pill, and you're going to be a different person. It's going to awaken that magic within you. And you're going to start to believe in yourself again. I think there's always been a part of you that believed you were meant for more, but you weren't following the call. And this is going to help you believe in yourself again. The mother. Maybe your mother is a big part of what's kept you stuck. That comes out a lot in here. Names. So you would be seeing this person's name everywhere. They would be reminding you of this person constantly, and that is part of what's supposed to motivate you to have that drive to go forward. Aquarius season, so what's that? January 19th to February 18th. Health. Focus on your health. What's your diet like? Are you exercising? Yes, your intuition, trusting the guidance that you're getting right now. Trust your intuition. I think you are. You're trusting your intuition. Yeah. So your intuition is telling you that these signs and synchronicities, that's why I brought it up in the beginning. See how it all lines up? I was talking about synchronicities when I got that phone call, and then the call card was on the bottom of the deck. Things are lining up and you're seeing their name. This is names again, names, music, angel numbers everywhere. And they're telling you to follow your gut, to trust your intuition. You're not delusional. You're not reading too much into it. You're seeing, those are signs that you're seeing. They are guiding you through those signs, whatever they are. The sparkle. You're seeing your person. This is what is driving you to rise up too, because remember when I said before about your jealousy over maybe the attention that your twin flame gets? They have found their sovereignty. They have realized that they are the architect of their own reality. They have created something for themselves and they get that attention. And for a long time, I think that annoyed you, it pissed you off. They're in their Empress era. They're glowing up and you're seeing it. They're radiating. They've come into that queen. They're sovereign in their life now. They know that only they can. Where you're learning to, I'm not the victim. I have to change my circumstances and I have to put in the hard work. I've got to stop blaming others. They've learnt that lesson. They're taking control of their life. They're realizing that they are the creator of their reality. Protection, evil eyes, psychic attacks. But your person is really sitting in that Empress energy now, and that is where this call to be better is coming from. I think the call has been like nagging at you for a long time, but you've fallen short. But something now is making you just want to go for it. And whatever it was that made you change your mind and get that resolve to do it, good. Doesn't matter what made you do it, it's good. It's kind of reminding me of that whole you have to hit rock bottom before you're willing to go up. People that are on substances or alcohol, whatever the case may be, and no matter how much the people around them that love them beg them to change, they don't want to, because the temptation towards that substance is too great. It's like, and then a lot of times those people have to hit absolute rock bottom and then go, hang on, and then they rise up from it. That's got this feeling to it. This person wanted you to change and you were resistant to it, and then you would blame them, make them feel like they were the drama and that they were toxic. Realizing that you've been stuck because of societal programming, culture, family beliefs, family expectations, societal programming, all that stuff. Even if some level of you was already kind of tapped into that, like conspiracy theories and all that stuff, you still were succumbing to the temptations of that other stuff. And you're seeing through it now and you want more for yourself. Claircognizance, but that light bulb's I feel like you had an aha moment, like what's that saying? It's on the tip of my tongue. A come to Jesus moment where you're just like, I want more, I don't want this anymore, and it repulses you. All the stuff that you used to do or play into repulses you now, and so it's pushing you towards the better version of yourself. But claircognizance is clear knowing, intuition, and abilities. There is so much here about trusting your intuition and really tapping into the psychic abilities that you actually have always had. And letting go of the baggage. This is all, your projection. You were projecting always, there it is, addictions. The addictions were a part of this. Smoking, drinking, other substances, being online, obsessive thought patterns. Addictions are a huge thing here for you. And you've carried that emotional baggage for a long time. But then you would project onto the world. Every time things didn't go the way you wanted them to, and you thought you were such a good person, and so when people would do the wrong thing by you, and then you would lash out, and then you'd blame everyone else because you weren't taking responsibility for the way you are. And you're ready to unpack that stuff now. A lot of it was unresolved because you had put it in a box and tucked it away and you didn't want to deal with it, and now you're ready to unpack it. Why all of this stuff has kept you stuck for so long. Wild one. Free spirit, untamed, raw. Yeah, there's the anger. It's all just confirming what I'm already saying. Your anger, your temper, the way you would react to people when things didn't go to plan, or when you felt like your pride was being bruised, your temper, adding in addictions to that would just be so bad. And then you would turn around and project it like your own. You would blame people for your reaction. Like me acting this way is your fault, instead of taking responsibility for it. But a new beginning is on its way to you now, because you're balancing. A new chapter, a fresh start. You're taking that leap of faith. What just fell off? Yeah, your intuition. But they're trying to grant you this new beginning. Take it. You're not bound by this. You can change. People can be young and decide to change, or they can be in their 50s, 60s, 70s and decide to change. It's not too late. 1414 on the clock. See what that angel number is. Yeah, third party interferences, work and family have played a big part in this. And as well, if you either work with family or worked with family or friends, or you always had to be making some kind of income to provide for your siblings, your mum, whatever, and that kept you stuck. And there was resentment there for that, because you felt trapped in certain work situations because you were picking up the slack for your family. And all this stuff is a lot to carry. But you're at a point now where you don't want to live this way anymore, keep being motivated, keep being driven. Trust the signs that they're showing you. Distance. That explains the travel. There's so many cards that were coming out about travel. You were at a distance from this person, and it is clearly an obstacle that needs to be overcome here. Maybe this trip takes you to this person, and you can actually have those tough conversations in person and spend some quality time together, and you might find yourself completely rejuvenated because of that. That trip, that closing the distance between you and your twin flame, could be the thing that you need to feel like you're making progress. Incoming communication, there we go. I really think that you are ready to take that step to communicate with them. And there it is, twin flames. Well, you already know that. But this, you believe this. you know that this person, that this Empress is your twin flame. You know this. Your soul knows this. Your intuition's always been telling you this. But again, you were pushing against it. When you know, you know. But again, like the beginning, because there was so much toxicity, because you were addicted to drama, to chaos, to bad behaviors, and because of the damage you caused this person, you saw it as a lost cause, and so you just went full, jumped both feet in to being that negative version of yourself. But whatever caused this aha moment, this come to Jesus moment, you are going for it, and that is very good. And I think traveling to this person, and clearly you're really ready to communicate with them, it's really going to, what's the word, like slingshot. You're going to be struggling with words now. It's really going to push you forward in this journey to becoming a divine masculine. Good. This is good. This is good stuff. Okay, let's see how this person... Yeah, let's see how this person, your twin flame, if you're the masculine, then let's see what your feminine's feeling about this connection and about you right now. Oh, yeah, let's do it. Because I just feel like if it comes out negatively, it's like I don't want that to deter you. But that's the thing, it shouldn't. Even if they're feeling a bit like you're a lost cause, it shouldn't deter you. That's the thing. It's like it's got to motivate you to be like, let me prove you wrong. Illusions, faith. Oh, so they still have faith, but expectations. But you would know that. You'd know that they would have certain expectations. Because remember, you're expecting them to be that Queen of Swords, very cold and very... they're going to have very strong boundaries. I have faith and hope in our connection and on us. I know you have been brought into my life for a reason, and it's bigger than both of us. I know that we are destined to be together, and have faith on God that they will find a way for us. So that's good. They still have hope for you too. Illusions. I may be quiet right now, but you are always on my mind. So if you thought that they don't think about you anymore, you're silly. Remember that separation is an illusion. We are always together. We are drawn together by faith. Faith is big here for this feminine. Trust your intuition. So their higher self is even sending you messages and guiding you and telling you, trust the guidance we're giving you. Trust the signs we're sending you right now. I'm working hard behind the scenes to heal. Stay strong for me and come back home. Expectation. I want to be all that you want me to be. I don't want to disappoint you. I know you have a lot of expectations from me, and I'm trying to stand for that, but at times I feel so far away from that, and I'm afraid to let you down or disappoint you. So they also know that there was things that they needed to change. It's not as if they were all perfect and it was all on you, but the thing is you put all the blame on them, and you created a lot of turmoil for this person and left them with unanswered questions and a lot of pain. Learning. You are unique and special, and I've never met anyone like you before. You have opened me up to things that I never knew were possible. I am so strong because of the power of our love. You have opened my heart to the truth, and I am very grateful for all the lessons that we are both learning now. They're very positive. They have faith in you. They have faith that you can change. A lot more faith in you than you have in yourself. But that needs to change. You need to believe in yourself again. I want to get these nautical cards, especially because of this distance. What is your intentions moving forward? What is this collective's intentions moving forward, please? Unresolved conflict and tension creating turbulence in relationship, emotional instability and rocky past. Well, we know that. Upheaval, instability, arguments and overwhelmed. I think that that's when you're going over what happened here. You know that you created a lot of the arguments and the instability, and it overwhelms you when you think about the work that it's going to take. But again, you've reached this point now of oh, this is nice. Mermaid song. Embrace the magic or potential in love. Tune into deeper emotions. Trust your instincts. Enchanting. Seduction, allure, attracting new love, chemistry. But because you're starting to do the work now and you're wanting to transform, you're attracting a new beginning for the two of you. Four and 34. Captain's wheel, take the wheel. Everything's not happening to you. You need to take control of your circumstances and your own behavior. Navigating love with clear intention and leadership. Good. Taking charge of your emotional direction. Leadership, direction, confidence, purpose, mastery. Beneath the surface, something wants to be exposed, but someone is keeping it at bay, finally seeing things clearly. I think you're seeing things clearly too. And if addiction's got in the way for a long time as well, it takes some time to, when you're sobering up, to actually get a clear mind again, to then make logical decisions. Subconscious truths, depth, emotional discovery. So you've discovered that about yourself, I think, for a long time, again, because you were always blaming everyone around you and that it was always happening to you instead of taking accountability. You would create instability everywhere you go, arguments everywhere you go, but now you're starting to realize the part you play in that. Harbour of safety under Mermaid song, finding refuge and emotional security with a partner. That's why I feel like you maybe might take a trip to see them. Safe haven in love, trustful and trusting, gaining this person's trust back as well. I think your intention here clearly is to get this person's trust back and to make it work. Security, emotional center as well, but emotional shelter, comfort, refuge, and stability. And then ship in a bottle. Keeping hope alive, good. Preservation of special love. Cherishing moments, memories encapsulated. The hidden potential. Visualizing positive outcomes. Your intention's very good. Again, I was really worried about that first part, but I actually think that it was to show how you have been and you want to change that now. Yeah, taking charge of your love life, the captain's quarters, navigating challenges confidently, captain of your own life. Personal space, reflecting self-care in love. Should I get love pop? Let's get love pop. And then I'm just going to get what you need to surrender right now. What's next for this connection, please? The more I think about it, the more I feel like a lot of those initials were the initials of people that have been a big interference here in your life. Unawakened, that's what you were. Family ties, your family. So maybe some of those initials are your family members. helps each other. This is you and them, no, don't forget. Helps each other grow, not only as individuals but also as spiritual beings. I miss the family we created or the family that could have been. I realize I made a mistake by walking away from my happiness. You are my life partner, my other half, and my confidant. So that's why it's worth doing the work, because what you could have with them if you do. You're the captain of your ship. Direct it where you want to go. So this was the problems. You were unawakened, and that was causing a fear of losing your old life, because maybe as well at that time you still enjoyed that toxic behavior. Feels something is missing but is in denial. Physically blocking and ignoring the connection. So you could very well be the one that has them blocked. I'm fearful of letting go of what I have and what I know. What you're asking of me is impossible and makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. That's how you treated them. Because they wanted you to be better, you didn't like that, and you would make them feel it. You're magical and powerful. Unicorn. New beginnings and alignment. This is what's next for you. Taking action towards your destiny. You take action towards your destiny. Creator of your own reality through powers of manifesting. I used to limit my goals and place myself in a box based on what I was told I was capable of. Since meeting you, my views have expanded and I'm trying to dream big. Because of you, I know I deserve more. So while you were busy blaming your twin flame, putting all the, projecting all the toxicity onto them and making it out like you two weren't good together or that love isn't enough, blah, 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 you were actually limiting the potential that they saw in you, because you thought that they were trying to change you, that they were, that nothing you ever did was good enough. Meanwhile, they wanted you to have more. They knew you deserved more. You might even remember them having said that. I think you deserve the world. And you pushed against it. You rebelled against them instead of the structures that had kept you limited all your life. But you were changing now. You were magical. You were powerful. You were manifesting a better life. And especially if your family are very unawakened too, even if they have spiritual beliefs or whatever, it's like they have a very narrow view of things, and you are expanding out of that. Future focus, good. Very much focused on your future with this person and just for yourself. Strong sense of self and feeling hopeful. Awakened and being aligned with connection. Positive outlook on life and focusing on the future. I am devoted to returning to you. I'm starting to feel hopeful about the future because I see you being a big part of it. You know that your future has this person in it. That's also why I feel like you're going to travel to them, and you are going to, you are determined to make them a part of this future that you see. Whoa. Intuition's poking out. That's been coming out constantly. Settling. The life you've been settling for. Unsatisfied and feels alone while with someone. That's that side piece card. The sexual connections that you've been having just to feed your ego and feed that desire, even though it's so brief. And just settling for circumstances that you're not happy in, but you felt like that was your lot in life, so you weren't motivated to try for more, but that's changing now. Your wants, needs, and desires are being chronically unmet, but that's the people you're surrounding yourself with. Accepting less than what you deserve, and that doesn't exactly sit right with you, but you were sitting in that unawakened energy. You were fearful of letting go of that because it's all you'd ever known. I know I'm not happy, but I feel I have no way out. Not true. Again, you're the captain. I just can't walk away from my duties and the one I am with, even if I'm not entirely happy. So if you are in a relationship, I don't think you're in a relationship because it's single came out, but whatever your circumstances are that you were bound by, if it's family, if you're financially tied to family, or you're in a situationship, a friends with benefits thing, you take control, end it, move on with your life. At the moment, this energy of settling is what's keeping you stuck. Breaking barriers, excellent. Realizing the truth with understanding, you must push forward with the connection. Removing obstacles that resulted in cultural differences, family situations, or sexual orientation. Your family have been an interference here, and a big part of that could have been the cultural differences, and as well because there's distance, maybe you just had very different upbringings. There are so many barriers stopping us from being together. I'm trying my best to become a better person so I can knock down the walls for you and eventually be with you. Good. And then you've got Aries on the bottom. That's been coming out a lot lately as well. I was impulsive, irrational, and selfish. I pushed this connection to its breaking point and then blamed them. I'm sorry for causing so much conflict in our lives, but now you want to step up to the plate. So good. All very good. Just not the settling card isn't, but the rest is. I want to get the Enchanted Wisdom Oracle, because I want to see what it is you're learning from this, because a lot of that is she has the power, Dorothy has the power the whole time to go home, and that's the same for you. What wisdom are you gaining right now? You already possess everything you need to succeed. Believe in your abilities. Ruby Slippers. Protection, safe passage, and guidance. They are going to guide you through this. You have safe passage to go through with this life-changing time and going towards this person. The Lullaby League. Balance and harmony are essential for you. Embrace peace and joy in your life by doing things you love. One more. The Emerald City and the balloon. Hot air balloons could be a memory for you. You are nearing your goals. You're close. You're so close. Prosperity and recognition are within reach. Keep going. Aspirations, hope, big vision. And then the balloon. You are ready to ascend to new heights in your life and goals. Get ready to rise. Elevation, higher perspective, and adventure. Go on an adventure. Munchkin Land. Celebrate your uniqueness. Small beginnings can lead to big achievements. Know your worth. Slow progress, but big rewards. Every step towards this life is you're going to be rewarded. Let's get Surrender. Oh, I keep wanting to get a timing card, so let's do that. Let's get you a timing card, and then we'll get a closing message. What is the more than a year? Faster than you think. I think more than a year since you've talked to this person, your twin flame. because my instinct throughout this whole reading was that you're very close to reaching out to this person, and then you got incoming communication in that journey deck. So I think it's been more than a year since you've talked to this person, and things are turning around faster than you realize. Divine timing is at play. You are not wasting your time. Don't get into that mindset again, because you're pushing out of that now. Spring. In a few days. That's faster than you think. You could be reaching out to them in a few days. You never know. I just noticed as well that more than a year they're holding hands, and she's got an engagement ring on. Festive season, so by the end of the year, and mourning on the bottom. All right, let's get a closing message. That aeroplane card was peeking out as well. More travel. All right, closing message for this collective, please. Whoa, that's way too... Healing, perfect. Surrender and release as well, I'll take that. Answered prayers on the bottom. All right, so we've got healing and surrender and release. A situation that has caused you concern is on the mend, faster than you think. You are a natural leader. Oh no, sorry, you are a natural healer, but a leader as well. And your healing thoughts have manifested into form. Good. Sometimes a situation cannot heal until you release the challenge completely, so that healing light can enter it. Your worries will soon be over, because this card signifies that healing has occurred. To realize this healing, however, you must first stop focusing on what is wrong and instead affirm everything is in divine and perfect order right now. You have natural healing abilities, and this card asks you to have faith that God works through you as an earth healing angel. Hold thoughts of love around any situation that seems to need healing. Visualize the situation as healed right now, manifesting your future. Then give thanks to God for his healing and completely release everything to the angels. The powerful effects of your healing work touch many lives. Surrender and release. Let go and allow God and the angels to help you. Everything that you release will either be replaced by something better or will be returned to you healed. When you hold on tightly to a part of your life that's not working, it has no room to heal. Whether you're unhappy with your love life, finances, career, home, or health, this card asks you to let go. If you hang on to these aspects of your life because of fears such as, what if I can't find someone or something better, then the situation will only worsen. However, if you're willing to open your hands and allow the situation to be freed, one of two situations will occur. Either it will be washed away from you and replaced by a better situation, or the situation will heal in a miraculous way. By drawing this card, the angels ask you to try to not control the outcome of your troubling situation. Let go and let God help you. I think you're actually going to even feel like you two reuniting is miraculous, because for so long you were holding on to how much damage was caused here that it was impossible to repair. And it's going to feel miraculous when you come back together. So remain positive and keep doing the work on yourself, because they are leading you to a better life for yourself. It's okay to desire